babies are born during the summer than any other season, which means that it's prime time for baby showers. But a group of people that are often forgot during this time are those that are adopting. It can be tricky to plan a shower that doesn't revolve around baby bumps. But here with some tips is Executive Director of the Adoption Consultancy, Nicole Witt. Say that 10 times, right? Adoption Consultancy.
Adoption Consultancy. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. So you have some great suggestions today, and you start off with some DIY tips, right?
Yes, right. It's a big trend right now, and thank goodness for Pinterest to help us with all that. Because when you go to a store to try to find baby shower items, everything's focused on pregnancy and the bump, and maybe you can find kind of the more generic baby things, but nothing about adoption. So you can go to Pinterest and find things that not only you can save money by doing it yourself, but can be really specific to adoption and to the family's journey. One of my favorite things are like these little Christmas ornaments that you can stuff with anything. You can do it as a way to give a gift or as a keepsake or a craft for people to do later. So if the family is going to have hospital mementos, they could put that in there. But even if they're not, you can put like a baby's rattle and some other things that's a special keepsake for them.
That's a great idea. And then you talk about eco-friendly invitations as well, right?
Exactly. So there are, various websites that for a long time people have been able to email invitations. Now I think it's a little bit more acceptable to do that with more people focused on the environment. Those invitations will just end up in the trash, right? So you can email invitations. There are some new apps where you can text beautiful invitations.
Oh, nice.
But what's really great about it for adoption showers is that you can customize them. So you can put links in there where people can learn a little bit more about adoption, be more prepared. If the adoptive family has blogged about their journey, you can put that link so people know the whole story. And for people who need a little maybe extra sensitivity training, you can put links to positive adoption language, what to say, what not to say, and they won't know that that was just for them.
Right.
So it looks like it's part of the whole invitation, which is great.
And you talk about books also specific to adoption.
Yes, well, again, it ties in with also being environmentally friendly. Instead of the cards that people throw away, you can ask people to bring books, which is a great thing. People can bring, classics that are well loved. They can go out and buy a new one, but it's a great way to tie in the traditional baby shower with adoption, because you can bring sort of regular baby books, but you can also bring ones that are specific to the adoption story or any other way that a family is built.
I love that. Now you talk about some different ways to give gifts with the GoFundMe. This is interesting.
Yes. So adoption is expensive, right? And babies only need so many adorable outfits, and the adoptive parents, might have bills to pay off from the adoption, or they might have really tapped into money that they wanted to use for college funds or other things. And it's not really acceptable to bring a jar of cash to a shower, although the adoptive parents might love it. But it's so easy to set up a GoFundMe page these days where people can contribute towards their adoption expenses instead of a gift.
Absolutely. And recently my cousin adopted, and it was one of those instances, though, that she wasn't sure when the baby was going to come. And when they did adopt him, he was 9 months old. So what do you recommend for that?
Yeah, so you have to have flexibility with how you do the shower, and you have to include all the information you have on the invitation, because if sometimes it is a newborn from the hospital, you don't know the exact date, you may or may not know the gender. Sometimes it's an older child from overseas. Sometimes the family just doesn't want to do it until they've taken placement of the baby. So whatever information you have, gender, size, age, include all of that on the invitation so people can bring the appropriate gifts.
Great advice. And now, when you're talking about invitations and who to invite, you even suggest possibly inviting the birth mother.
Right. So adoptions have evolved over the years to become more open. They're still not as fully open as people see in the movies or online, but certainly more so than 10 years ago. So it is a conversation that happens. Should we invite the expectant mom to the shower? It's something, obviously, it ultimately depends on the relationship between the potential birth mom and the adoptive mom. If they've developed a special bond, that can be really meaningful. Or sometimes they may do 2 showers, one where the expectant mom doesn't come and one where she does, maybe a smaller family group. So again, you need to have that conversation up front.
Absolutely. And last but not least, you have some drinks here.
Yes, so one of my favorite things about adoption showers, they're less traditional. They're not just all about pregnancy, they're not just all about adoption. They're about celebrating this new family. And the adoptive mom can drink alcohol if she wants to.
That's true.
So you can have the traditional pink and blue drinks. You can have champagne. You can have specialty cocktails as well.
Okay.
And you can toast to the new family.
We will. Toast to the new family. Thank you so much, Nicole. Great information.
Thank you.
And we will be right back. Cindy, over to you.